So welcome back everyone. So in the previous video I showed how to write things in the card, more specifically single line and left start text. So it was not very difficult because it just takes the default structure of a function to write. So it starts in a place and just do a single line. This works fine for the name of the card and the type of the card, but for the text, the flavor text, and the power and toughness, it doesn't work so well because these texts have some characteristics that are not properly addressed by single line text. They are multiline text, and we have to align them in the center and some other things. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to start dealing with this problem and how to write multi-line text and how to proper place this text in some region and other things. So let's go. So first, I'm going to Control C here, our lorem text. If you don't know what lorem ipsum is just a generic test used to test text related functions. So you may find easily this in the internet by typing lorem ipsum. So here we can see some generic text to check how our function will perform with this text. So if we go ahead and use our helper function to write single line text and use the lorem ipsum text with this default function and this place, let's see what happens. So as we can see, since this function only writes single line text, it continues to write things until our image finishes. So we can clearly see that this is not enough for us to write things in this area. So we have to do a little bit of extra work so we can proper write things, write the card text in a proper way. So basically our problems here are, let's list some of them. So problems with text area of the card, text / flavor text area of the card. Well, one problem is that the text need to be centered and vertically in the case of this area here, and horizontally in the case of the power and toughness area. Another thing is that the text may have more than one line. The text may have more than one line. It is equivalent to multiline text. And the last thing is that we have to make space difference for the text of the card and the flavor text of the card. If we go here and we can see that the flavor text is this piece of text that doesn't have any effect on the card, is just a cosmetic information. The actual text that displays the ability of the card is royalty up here. But as we can see, they have different fonts and different sizes, so we have to write them in different places. So we have to make some mechanism to properly divide the text area into the ability text and the flavor text, in case there is a flavor text, or in case there is the ability text in a simultaneous way. So text area must be divided between ability text and flavor text. Okay, So how can we start to deal with this problem? Well, in the beginning of these lessons, we defined actually a function to draw rectangles, so we can use it to debug the areas of our card. So let's use this function. So in order to find the proper area where we have to write things. So let's create a text card here, load blank card, and green, and then false. And the text area X, let's place it default 10. Text area, let's place it 10 also. The text width area width, let's put it 100. Text area height 100. And then we do draw rectangle, and then test card X will be text area X, Y will be text area Y, and width will be text area, width, height will be text area height, and then the color will be yellow. Okay, so let's check it. So as we can see, our rectangle is properly drawn here. So let's navigate with these values until we find the proper region where we have to draw our text. So we can see that it is very far from here. So let's increase this to 200 and 100 here. All right, so here maybe 50, and here 250, and here 40, and then here maybe 350. Oh yeah, here 38. Oops. Okay, and maybe 38 worked better, and so we can keep a margin from the actual boundary of the text region. And here, let's 352, 5, okay. Yeah, okay, let's keep this margin here. And maybe 40, okay, 38 is fine. Okay, so let's increase its width. Mm, 20. Okay, and finally the height. Let's put 100. Oops. 30. 50. Oops. And 40. Let's put 35. Okay. So here we can see that this coordinates here properly define the area where we have to write our text. So we can use this as reference in the next functions we defined to write the text in the card. So, okay. So the first thing we have to do here is to detect the size of the text, so we can know where the text must be broken. So for example, here we need to know how long is this text, so we can infer where we have to break. Like here, for example, in this space here is a good way to break this line and continue in the next line. So one way or another, we have to define detect the measure the size of the text. So let's define a function called get text width. One way we could deal with this was to use the length of the actual text as a reference, and then use some vector to multiply this length, so we can infer the actual size of the text. Since it depends on the font, and the font face, and the font size. But in the Peel library, we actually have a function that returns us the actual size of a text drawn in some image. So let's use this function to get our text width. So first we define a draw object. And here we need to define an empty image that will be used in the background to measure our text size. So here, find an RGB image with size 0.0, and it will work. And then we return the draw.text length, and then text, and then we also give the font. Okay, so let's define our font here. Image font dot row type font asset text TF 18. Okay, so if you go ahead and get text width, and let's go with text, let's put Lauren, our Lauren Ipson text, and in the font we use the font we just defined. Okay, so we can see that this text, this Lauren Ipson text here, actually covers 3000 pixels in one line. So if you reduce this to, I don't know, maybe 10 characters, you can see that it has a 83. It has an 83 pixels if we use 10 characters. So if we go to 20, we can see that it's not the double. It is some factor of this, but it varies a lot because of some letters are wider than others, and etc. So okay, so now that we have our function to measure our text, we can go ahead and create a function to actually broken our text in different lines. So this will be the subject of the next video. So I'll see you there. Bye bye.